Just shout out to Nick Strength and Power because you keep saying I'm guest posing at this thing. I'm not guest posing. I'm not putting on trunks. I'm going to actually be, I'm there as a
He's there as
representative.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, the latest physique update from Derek Lunsford, posted just hours ago, 12 weeks out now from the 2023 Mr. Olympia. Now, Derek, I think it goes without saying that he has made massive strides in terms of improvements all around, really, but with the lower body in particular, I'm just so impressed with how big his legs have become. And we talked about this a couple of videos ago where we showed the side-by-side comparisons of when he started at the Olympia in 212 and to where he's at now. It's a night and day difference. And his legs, like I said, they went from being a weak point to really being one of his stronger body parts. I mean, his quads in particular are crazy big, not even just compared to how they used to look, but where they're at now, I think, is really impressive. And I think, again, the big changes that we're going to see in Derek are going to be really as a result of this past year where he's going to be able to spend, or to have spent, the entire year focusing only on prepping for the Olympia, which is a luxury he didn't have the prior year. And I think, honestly, I would say that out of last year's top 5, the updates that we've seen from Derek up until this point, especially now at 12 weeks out, to me, have been the most impressive out of anybody in the top 5. If you think about it, besides Derek, you had Hadi Chupin, you had Nick Walker, you had Brandon Curry, and you had Big Ramy. We've seen almost nothing from Brandon and Ramy at all for this Olympia prep. Who knows if Ramy is even really still doing it at this point, because he's been kind of quiet the last 3 months or so. Basically nothing from Brandon. Very little from Hadi Chupin, but what he has posted has been impressive. Nick Walker is still posting pretty regularly. And while I think Nick's updates are always impressive, I think he doesn't look much different to me in these updates than he usually looks. Derek, on the other hand, whenever he posts an update, I always just find myself thinking, wow, this guy has really made some pretty drastic changes. And I always find myself thinking, wow, he looks big. And I would say I would probably rank Derek's updates up there with Samson's updates. I didn't include Samson in that conversation because I said top 5. But, I mean, honestly, I think Derek could have a real shot this year at winning the Olympia. And, of course, everybody has to get through Hadi, and everyone's going to have to get through that hard-as-nails conditioning that Hadi brings. And I think Derek already beats Hadi in the back shots. I don't think there's any disputing that. I think Derek beats almost everybody in the back shots. So if Derek is able to put on some quality size and come in bigger this year, look bigger from the front, and then work on the conditioning, come in harder from the front, which I think is where Hadi gets him, I think we could be looking at a very close competition between 1 and 2 with the improvements that it looks like Derek has made from a size standpoint. But I still think at the end of the day, with anybody beating Hadi, it's going to come down to Hadi's conditioning is just very consistent and very tough to beat. And I think that's where he did beat Derek. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Does Derek have a shot at winning the 2023 Mr. Olympia this year? Now, next up in the news, I want to talk about Nathan Asha a little bit because we got an update from Nathan where I think he's starting to look significantly more impressive than he was further out from this show. He's about 4 weeks out, a little over 4 weeks out, from the Flex Pro weekend in Italy, where we know he's going to be facing Regan Grimes at the very least. And I think Nathan has made some pretty rapid improvements, especially from that first update that he had posted when he said he was prepping for the show. I feel like he has really significantly conditioned himself in a relatively short amount of time. I think he's really starting to tighten up here. He looks a lot harder, a lot more detailed in this update than some of the past ones that we saw. And I'm really curious to see how he's going to do here because he's won so many shows in recent years. He's proven that he's one of the most highly competitive pros. I mean, if you look over his career, he's won a lot of stuff. He's won the Toronto Pro. He's won the New York Pro. He's won that old Lou Ferrigno Legacy, which hasn't been around for a while, but he won that back in 2016. He's also won the Arnold Classic UK, the British Grand Prix, and then 2021 to 2022, he won like those 3 shows back to back. But I think the big thing with Nathan is we haven't seen him at the Olympia in quite some time. We haven't seen him compete at the Olympia since 2018. which shockingly was already 5 years ago. I can't believe time has gone by so quick. I mean, that's crazy, but he was 8th at the 2018 Mr. Olympia, and I still don't know if he's able to travel to compete at the Olympia, because what we haven't seen from Nathan is him come back to the States to compete since, well, pre-COVID. And I know that he said he doesn't have any travel issues or visa problems or anything resulting from his legal issues that prevents him from coming to compete in the States or at the Olympia. But the fact is, we just haven't seen him compete at the Olympia despite being qualified for several years now. So when I have this conversation about Nathan potentially winning this show, which I think he is probably the favorite to do, because I do actually think he's a phenomenal bodybuilder. So my point is, if he is able to win this show, and he is able to qualify for the Olympia, and he is able to get to the Olympia, I think he could be someone that ends up being a serious factor there that a lot of people aren't even really considering because he hasn't competed in so long at the Olympia. I mean, realistically, that resume of his that I just gave you, those wins that I just listed, is one of the most impressive resumes of anybody qualified for the Olympia right now. He might have more pro wins than the majority of the lineup, and a lot of them were just in the last couple of years. So when I see these updates and I see that he's competing in Italy, I do think this is kind of an important story to follow, and this is an important guy to keep our eyes on because of the fact that he is so dangerous, and I think a lot of people aren't really thinking about the potential of him at the Olympia because it's been so long since we've seen him there. But if he does end up at the Olympia, I think this is a guy that could be a real factor. So if we see him win Italy, I think his name could be in that conversation as one of the better guys potentially in the top 10 at the Olympia. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Nathan can travel and go to the Olympia? And do you think he can win the Italy Pro or the Flex Pro weekend in Italy to get there? Now, next up in the news, we did get another physique update from Hunter Labrada just a little over a week out from the Texas Pro, where I think he looks pretty gnarly here. I mean, he looks pretty incredible, looks pretty dry. His quad's crazy separated. His legs have really come up quite a bit, I think, over the past couple of years. And he says in the caption there, giving everything I have to give and winning each day, 9 more to win. I'm guessing that means he's 9 days out in this video. And honestly, I cannot wait to see this battle at the Texas Pro. I think it's going to be a really close one. I've seen the comments, and the comments seem like they're pretty torn between Andrew Jack and Hunter Labrada. There's some people saying there's absolutely no way that Hunter's going to beat Andrew after how Andrew looked at the Arnold Classic. Then there's some people saying there's absolutely no way that Andrew's going to beat Hunter because of Hunter's conditioning at the Tampa Pro. If it's better than that or the same even at Texas, it's going to be very hard to beat. And I agree. I think it's very 50-50. I think it's very split, and I think it could go either way because Andrew, I do think, looks significantly better at the Olympia, or I'm sorry, at the Arnold than at the Olympia. But the last time him and Hunter were head-to-head at the Olympia, Hunter won. And I would argue that Hunter also looks significantly better, or looked at Tampa and looks now significantly better than how he looked at the Olympia. So if he beat Andrew at the Olympia with an inferior version of his physique, and now he's much better, logic would say that he can do it again. However, we haven't gotten a physique update from Andrew in a couple of weeks now. He's just posted some training videos. The last physique update I'm looking at now was July 19th. So we can't really use that as a comparison because I don't think it's a fair comparison at all. If you put this next to Hunter's update, I think the conditioning is not even close, or how Hunter looked in Tampa, the conditioning is not even close, but this is also a much older update. But I really feel that this Texas Pro is going to be one of the more exciting shows, if not the most exciting show of this competitive season. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who do you guys think is winning, Texas, Andrew, or Hunter? Now, next up in the news, another top 3 Olympian posting a 12-week out physique update. Nick Walker, just under 12 weeks out from the Olympia. This is post-push day. Looking absolutely full as a house in this most muscular shot. But again, I think Nick's most musculars are always impressive, and I feel like he usually does look full. So when I say that I think Derek's updates have been some of the more impressive updates going into the Olympia of the guys in the top 5, I don't mean that to minimize Nick's updates. I just think Derek's progression has been so insane, it's really struck me more than anybody else, including Nick. Honestly, I'm just really excited for the Olympia now because I really feel like that top 3 and really that top 5 could look very, very different this year. I think the placings could be interchanged a lot. And I'm actually curious to hear your guys' very early Olympia predictions in the comments below. Just give me your top 3, not your top 5, not your top 6, not your top 10. Your current top 3 Olympia predictions in order. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today, Jay Cutler. We just saw him do a guest posing with Regan Grimes for his 50th birthday, where I think he looked really impressive. But I also wanted to mention that I noticed on a recent episode of his Cutler cast, he gave me a little shout out, but he also said that he's not doing a guest posing at the Romania, the Masters Olympia in Romania. He said he's just going to be taking his shirt off and he's just going to be hitting a couple of poses, nothing extreme, and he's not going to be in posing trunks.
Hold on, are you going to do like a 2-minute posing routine?
No.
Can I guide you, like pick the music?
No, and I'm just shout out to Nick Strength and Power because you keep saying I'm guest posing at this thing. I'm not guest posing. I'm not putting on trunks. I'm going to actually be, I'm there as a representative. Yeah, so we're having a meet and greet. I'm doing a seminar with Neil Hill, and I'm going to do some presentations of trophies. And maybe that time I'll get up there and hit a pose just for you. But it's, I'll show the good stuff, not the bad
just
stuff.
For Milos.
When you're in this kind of shape, and this is Masters Olympia in Romania,
I know the
they're
problem
going to forever remember this. I'm going
for the fans, but I just don't know what the flight's going to be like. And, we never know.
It's just long.
Yeah,
it's a long trip.
It's a lengthy
24 hours to get there.
I'll bring you a couple of diuretics next time.
I'm sure we can get them in Romania.
I actually don't hold a lot of water when I fly, so let's see what the food is, though. It's the eating. Well, I eat on the plane. I'm not bringing 12 meals with me on the plane, that's for sure.
But based on what we saw from him with Regan Grimes, the shape that he was in there, I mean, he was pretty conditioned. He was pretty dry and pretty lean, and he still got a couple weeks until Romania. I still think the fans would lose their mind even if he didn't do a full guest posing. If he was in posing trunks and just hit a couple. But again, he does say here he's not doing that. So I guess to lower your expectations a little bit for what we see from him at the Masters Olympia. Not a guest posing, just a guest hitting a couple of poses. Although I really don't think trunks would make like a huge negative difference. Like I don't see the downside of it because I think his legs are one of the crazier things about him right now. His abs are really ripped and his legs are like super diced. I don't know. I just think the fans would lose their minds if Jay stripped down in the trunks and did a guest posing up there at 50. But again, he says he's not going to. But that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And make sure you click that bell notification icon so you never miss an upload. And as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power, my Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power, my secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.